Hey guys. It's December 30th. I'm cutting it real close to the end of the year. 2022 has been a lot. We're still here though, it's good. A little secret, I like to always try and make my bed if I'm gonna film in front of it, but what's the point? I don't ever make my bed. There's really no point. Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been like 8 months, I think, maybe 8 or 9 or 7 months since I posted my last video. I honestly don't know, but it's been a hot minute. But I'm coming out of hibernation, retirement, whatever. Today I wanted to do Shetty's 7 reflection question. I actually don't know what it's called. I've been seeing this all over TikTok and I actually don't know what it's called. Shetty's 7 questions to successfully reflect on 2022. There's been a lot of reflecting going on this year, but I thought this would be a good culmination to all my reflection, and who knows, maybe some of you guys can relate to this, or maybe this will encourage you to also reflect on your year. So let's just get on into it. Okay, first question. What is a challenge that you've overcome this year? And man, where do I even start? I think I'm going to pick 2 of the biggest challenges that I've overcome. One of them is not being as afraid of showing who I am, because if you've heard Taylor Swift's Mirror Ball, and that was me. Basically, I would change myself, change the way I acted around different people, and I think that came to a point this year where I was just kind of like, you know, there are people who are not gonna like me, and that was something that I always really struggled with. I realized that's just not really a very, I hate using this word, it's not a very authentic way of living. And so I decided, I made a choice that I was going to just be myself. I wanted to try and not be as afraid of showing myself to people, like who I really am, and just being okay with that. And that definitely took a lot. That took a lot for me, but I feel like I've made a lot of really genuine friendships this year just by trying to implement that in my life. And it's something that I'm still definitely working on, something that it tends to creep back, especially in situations where I'm uncomfortable. And I guess the other thing would be realizing that the only thing constant in life is change. So freaking corny. Things will change. Sometimes you won't have the answer to why things change, or there will be no answer, and that is something that I have struggled with so hard, is trying to rationalize and over logic and analyze and find the reason or the answer as to why things happen, or why did I feel this way. Realizing that not everything has an answer, not everything has a reason. Maybe things just happen that way, and it is what it is. Saying that makes me like so, maybe not stressed is the word, but it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable still. That took me a moment, but that is definitely one of the biggest things I've had to learn. Question 2, what's something that surprised you? Something that surprised me this year was how pretty much nothing went the way I expected it to go. I guess I would say my confidence, but we'll take it one step at a time. So first, how nothing went the way I thought it would go this year. This is gonna be like a little mini life update because God knows we haven't had one of those on this channel in a while. But basically, I started out the year, I went back to school in the spring and it was fun. And then I got an internship, I lost my internship. I spent the whole summer looking for a fall internship and just like honestly working on healing myself, because I had so many things going on. So that, I didn't expect my summer to go that way, but that's how it went. And then the fall semester, I made so many more friends and it was just a really good time. All the things that happened were things I just did not expect to happen, or I didn't expect it to happen that way. And I think that's just a really good baseline for approaching life. You can have goals, but like it's probably not gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. The whole year was just one big surprise. Could not honestly tell you what I thought was gonna come next. But for the confidence thing, I kind of always struggled with confidence. I think it's kind of like a thing that ebbs and flows as life goes on, but I was in a particularly bad rut. But I think my confidence really increased this past fall semester, and I think part of it has to do with me accepting and being okay with showing who I am, and that was a big part of it. I just like realized a big thing of it was like, if you never try, how will you know? So I just went and I tried a lot of things, and I just talked to different people, and I was like, you know what, if they don't like me, they don't like me. But if I never try talking to them, never try getting to know them, how will I know? It's kind of surprised me how far I feel like I've come in terms of confidence. Because if you look at me like 2 years ago, man, I was nowhere near who I am now. Question 3, what was something that you bought that was worth it this year? And let me tell you, I have bought many things this year. I actually have a haul that I need to film. It's tough because I definitely don't think I've made any dumb purchases. Oh, I know. Maybe I don't have one that was exactly like the one thing that was like worth it, because I think everything was worth it, but this has been one of my most recent purchases, and I'm actually gonna go grab it to show you guys. So this is one of my most recent purchases. I got a new pair of running shoes. These are the Asics GT 100s, I think. I will leave the link down below. They were on sale, and I was honestly just scrolling through Dick's, and I was not honestly intending to buy running shoes, but I wanted to see, because I knew Dick's had like a huge sale and stuff, so I wanted to see if any of the running shoes would catch my eye, and this one like immediately did. It was under $100, which I was honestly kind of shocked about. And I remember seeing them being like, I really want to buy these, but I still had running shoes that I had been using, and I honestly had no clue when you're supposed to switch out your running shoes. The thing is with me, I have like really poor arch support. Like my doctor saw my feet and she was like, yeah, you've got no arch basically. So it's really important for me if I'm gonna go running to have good support, and I have these like insoles that I even add inside just for extra support. And so I found out you're supposed to switch your running shoes at about 400 to 500 miles, and I've had my old pair since senior year of high school, and so I'm definitely probably like maybe a good 50 to 100 miles over. I love these shoes. I've used these once, and I really like the way they feel. I can actually feel the gel support. Like, I think I was really running with no support before, because these are so comfy. I'm just like, I love these. Running has been a lifeline for me. And yes, white was a risky choice of color. However, they're gorgeous, so I don't even care. Question 4, best book slash podcast. I'm also gonna add music to it, or like music related thing, because I love music. My Spotify Wrapped was insane, and that's not even counting the white noise I play throughout the night while I sleep. Best book, I actually kept a list of every single book I read this year, and honestly, it was a slow start. I read a lot during the summer, and I read a lot during the last chunk of the fall semester and over winter break. But if I had to pick a favorite book, you're gonna have to let me pick 3, because I love a lot of these books. First one I loved was The Guest List by Lucy Foley, because I just literally did not predict that plot twist at the end, and I thought it was really well written. I love the pace of it, the plot line. I was like, wow, I love that. I love that book so much. Another book that I really loved was If You Could See the Sun by Anne Liang. And it's so funny because I saw the like the hype for this book all over TikTok, and every time I'd go and look for it, I'd figure out it still wasn't released. I feel like it really lived up to the hype. If you're a fan of academic rivals to lovers, this book is for you. I eat that up like candy. Personally, I really loved it, and the guy, just man, mwah. And then the third book I say that I really liked, I read I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. It was her memoir, autobiography, I'm not sure what it was, but oh my god, because growing up I loved watching iCarly. I loved Sam because I'm Sam, and just reading about all the things that she had to go through. Holy crap. I remember reading that during the semester. I remember laying in my bed and just reading, because I could not put that book down. It was insane. The note I wrote here was, damn, that was abuse, because holy shit. Those are my top 3 for books. For podcasts, I would say I really loved listening to Anything Goes by Emma Chamberlain. She actually inspired me to start my own podcast. I remember in the spring, I had a little tradition. Every Sunday, I would get up and go walk to this hibachi place, and I would listen to her podcast while I was walking there. And something that I always struggled with was like doing things alone. And I think that semester I got really comfortable doing things alone and not feeling like awkward or tense, or like people were judging me for being alone or doing things alone, because like in the grand scheme of things, who gives a fuck? I haven't listened to it a lot recently, but her podcast was really great for me. As for music, one thing that I really enjoyed doing, I started this halfway through the year, was making monthly playlists. So every new song or old song that I felt like I rediscovered, I added to that monthly playlist. It feels like I've encapsulated that month within the music, and I can kind of remember like how I was feeling because, oh, I really love this song. So that's something that I really loved, and I plan to continue going on into 2023. Question 5 is, what are your blind spots for next year? And my god, biggest blind spot is, what am I doing after graduation? So I am a senior. I'm graduating in the spring. I actually need to make my advisor appointment just to make sure I've got all my classes squared away and everything. But I need to start applying for jobs, and ideally I would love to do something in marketing or PR. So if anybody needs marketing or PR, please hit me up. Please hit me up. My email is in the description box below. But regardless, that is my biggest blind spot, is figuring out where am I going to be working at, what am I going to be doing, where am I going to be living. Honestly, it sometimes kind of sends me into a crisis because I'm someone who likes to kind of know and have a good idea of what she's doing, and I frankly just don't have any right now. I know where I want to go and what would be the most feasible for me, but like I said earlier, life is so unpredictable and who knows what's gonna happen. Number 6, what made you happiest this year? A lot of things. Ow. I just got the worst rib cramp and it hurts like hell. Fall semester was honestly one of the best semesters I've had, and I haven't had many semesters on campus, so that might not be saying much, but it's one of the best times I've had throughout my entire college experience. Making new friends, and we would have these like karaoke nights. We go to karaoke. I joined pickup volleyball that played every night from 10 to 12. So you can just imagine how exhausted I was every single day. But it was a choice I made, and it was an exhaustion that I welcomed because I had so much fun doing it. In comparison to other years, this has been one of the best years I've had so far. Question 7, who are the people you couldn't have gotten through this year without? So this year has had a lot of changes based on the people that I kind of like surround myself with, and nothing bad. One I would have to definitely say is my mom. My mom, bless her heart, she has had to listen to me harp on the same thing over and over and over again so many times, and every time she's just helped me through it, and I think I would have gone insane without that. So yeah, I feel like everyone says their mom, but I really actually do mean it, my mom. A lot of the friends that I've made this year, I just feel really close to them, and I feel so grateful to have met them. This is so embarrassing because I'm actually kind of tearing up, and I hope you can't see it on camera. I've just been so grateful to have met them, and it makes me kind of sad because most of them are younger than me, so when I graduate this year, I'm like, and this rib cramp is not helping. It really hurts. I'm gonna like stretch. So that was my reflection. That was a reflection. I feel like I've done a lot of reflecting this year, and I think this is a good way to end it. And yeah, I'm excited for 2023. I'm excited to see what it brings. See you guys in 2023. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Addicted to you when we were in love, and even though you broke it off, I struggle with it like you were a